They take on the Chiefs. I believe the Chiefs right now close to double-digit favorites tonight. I think the Chiefs roll, but we'll get into that coming up in just a little bit. And we'll start Patriots, and the phone number here is 617-779-0985. We're on YouTube as well, youtube.com/985 The Sports Hub. And you can join our chat. Skaz is here. We got our intern Joey as well, helping out until 7 o'clock. And then we're here till post-game at 11 o'clock. If you haven't had a chance to react to the Patriots' loss yesterday, this is certainly the place to do it. I was on post-game with Leroy yesterday, and just our takeaways from the game. He had a really good point I'll get to in a second here, but mine was, what is going on with the coaching staff? This was another winnable game. I'm at the point now, I don't care if they win or lose. Like, I bet the Titans yesterday. I bet the Titans -3, and I bet under 38. It's exactly what happened. They won by 3. It went under 38 points. I also thought that Drake May would struggle. Why? Because of the big tackles that they have inside. Sweat's huge, right? Simmons was everywhere. At the same time, they were a top 15 defense, but they were last in the league in takeaways. And I thought that Drake May going on the road in his first true road game would be a problem. And in the end, he had 3 turnovers, and it was the difference in the game. But also, the difference in the game was Drake May. He was everything for the New England Patriots yesterday. And this is the wildest stat. I don't even know if this was mentioned today, so I'll say it right now. The Patriots had 316 yards of offense yesterday. Drake May had 301 yards of that offense. 316 total yards, and he had 301. He was everything. He was the judge, jury, and executioner yesterday. And you know what? They still had a chance to win the game. Here's my question, and this is what Leroy Irvin brought up, and I want to give him credit for this. The Patriots are now 0-3 in Drake May starts. They had a 10-point lead in one of them. They lost to Jacksonville. They got smoked by the Texans. And in this one, he had to battle back after the defense came out blitzing Mason Rudolph in the first segment, series, which I have no clue why. Why are you blitzing Mason Rudolph? They did. They shredded him. To me, that's on coaching. They weren't ready to go out of the gate. They come down, try to match it. They miss a field goal. It's 7-3 after a couple of lucky breaks and stupid plays by the Titans. They had a chance to win that game. They took the lead. They had chances, and at the very end, Drake May runs around for 12 seconds, finds Ramondre Stevenson, and they have a decision to make. I want to just say this to make it clear. Whether you think it was the right or wrong decision, it doesn't matter what you think. In reality, this was the problem. You're on the road. You have a chance to win the game. You aren't playing for wins and losses anymore. Kicking the field goal did you nothing. And by the way, the field goal that they chose to make, the PAT, it barely made it through. So if they lost, you would have killed them. If they missed that field goal, you would have crushed them. Here's the other thing. If Mayo goes for it and they miss, there'll be some of you out there who crushed them for it. Oh, should have given the team a chance in overtime, all that. But my whole thing is, you actually thought this team could come up with a game plan in an overtime? They couldn't. And this was Leroy's point. Somehow, the Patriots, they're in every game. Every single game. Where are they improving? Where are the Patriots improving? Take Drake May out of it. Where did they improve yesterday? Think about it. Where are the Patriots improving? The two most important things this year for the Patriots. Number one, what we've said on this show is the development of Gerard Mayo. Can he coach? That was, I know, Skaz and I's number one thing this year. Can Gerard Mayo coach? I had no problem with Drake May sitting on the sideline and developing. But now that he's playing, what else is developing on this team? Where are they improving? Because right now, I have no clue. Just like they had no clue what they wanted to do in overtime. They had no clue, which is why I think they should have went for it. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. We got exactly what we wanted yesterday. Drake May started after a week where he is in concussion protocol, and he didn't skip a beat. He threw for 200 yards. He threw for a touchdown. He rushed for 95 yards. He showed no signs of a setback. He threw 2 interceptions. He had a strip sack. He turned the ball over 3 times. In the end, that's why they lost the game, but it's also on Drake May why they even had a chance. Throwing a touchdown with no time remaining in the game to Ramondre Stevenson. It was like he was a magician out there at times. The Patriots offense accounted for 316 yards. I mentioned this already. They made an adjustment to the offensive line. They got 15 yards from their running backs. The wide receivers got a good performance from Pop Douglas, but Kendrick Bourne had a terrible false start, didn't run to the sticks on one play, and Jalen Polk had 2 penalties, and the team has 0 playmakers. Yeah, Drake May had 3 turnovers for the second time this season. What do you expect him to do with this offense? He still kept them in the game. Are the Patriots making any real progress? That's my question. Are they making any real progress? Drake May's 0-3 in games he started and finished this year. And 2 of those losses were teams that had 1 win at the time. They lost by 20 to the Texans. They had a 10-0 lead against the 1-win Jaguars in London and lost by 16. They lost in overtime to the 1-win Titans, who literally tried to give the game away. Oh, and the defense, right? Gerard Mayo, defensive-minded coach. They had another tough day. They allowed Mason Rudolph to gain 400 yards of offense. They controlled the ball for 39 minutes. They converted 7 of 17 third downs. And they rushed for 167 yards on the ground. They needed one stop, the Patriots. They couldn't stop them in overtime. And also, the guy who gave it up was Christian Gonzalez, by the way. But in overtime, 13 plays, 72 yards. They converted 2 third downs. They had rushes from Pollard of 7, 5, 5, 4, 3, 9, 3, and 5. They couldn't stop him. The fact is, the Patriots continue to fail Drake May. And the more that he plays, the more the coaching staff gets exposed. We'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. The team continues to fail Drake May. And the more he plays, the coaching staff does get exposed. Who's really in charge? I got an article up over at 985thesportsup.com. Who is really in charge? Don't tell me it's Gerard Mayo. 617-779-0985. I'm Joe Murray. We're here until 7 o'clock here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5.
I'm not going to get in. I don't want to get into that. It's a good question. I just don't want to get into it now.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Gerard, yesterday. Again, I'm on post-game. Immediately, the game ends. They kick it to us. We go to Gerard Mayo's press conference. And I was already on the two-point conversion thing. And then they ask him, and he goes, yeah, I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into it. Because he has no control. He had no control over it. Nobody will ever change my mind on this one. I have felt this way all year long. He has little to no power on that team, which means everyone in that locker room knows it, which is why they have issues in the locker room, and some of the guys have issues off the field. But on the field, it's been a coaching disaster. Let's face it, this roster does stink. They still could have won 5 games already. You mean to tell me they couldn't won some? They won week 1, so let's give them the win. You mean to tell me they couldn't have beaten the Seattle Seahawks? Really? Or what about the Jacksonville Jaguars? Or the Titans? There were winnable games. This team's not good enough. And they still could have won games. It's crazy. But the coaching is worse than it's ever been. Ever. At least in my lifetime. I know you can go back to the Rod Russ days and things to that degree. It's bad. And it's all about experience and preparation and knowing what to do next. And this is why I bring up overtime. Did they ever have the discussion, if we score here, we're going for 2? I don't know. Mayo might tell you that. He had a interview somewhere today where he said he talked about it. I don't believe him. Because he's not in control of that. He's the CEO. Gerard Mayo's the CEO. He's not the head coach. But you know what he'll do? After every game, he'll tell you that was his problem. It was his decision. Blame him. He'll do it after every single game. That's what he's getting paid to do here. He's a CEO. He's not a head coach. And today he wrote, we got to be better. I have to be better. It's actually yesterday after the game. We got to be better. I have to be better. Coaches have to be better. We go back to the drawing board. We never want to lose games. I feel like crap right now, so it's hard to really put out positives of this one, for me at least. He says it every game. Every game he says it. I'm sick of it. I can't do it anymore. Who's really making decisions for the Patriots? And I have an article up at 985thesportshub.com. It was another week of the same for the New England Patriots. They had a chance to win the game, but the in-game decision-making once again cost them a chance for victory. Only this time, it was after a miraculous touchdown pass from Drake May. The TD pass to Ramondre Stevenson made it a 1-point game with no time remaining. Gerard Mayo had a chance right there to take control and go for the win on the road. And when asked after the game, he didn't want to get into the question right now. So I ask you, who is making the decisions? Today, Mayo said he felt like it was the right thing to do. Also said it's ultimately his decision. Mayo had nothing to lose here, and it shows he has no control. Or that they weren't ready for the situation. The Patriots, of course, went on to lose to the Titans 20-17 in overtime. They're now 2-7 on the season. Instead of going for 2 points and the win, the team settled on barely making a PAT. Then they lost the coin toss in overtime, then decided to kick into the wind, and then Tennessee gashed them. The Patriots defense got gashed in overtime, and they held the ball for almost the entire time, despite a fumbled snap. If the Titans didn't fumble that snap, they would have ran the clock out, kicked the field goal, and the Patriots would have never had the football. So all you hindsight people or people who thought they should go for the field goal, they almost never even had a chance to get the football. How many times do you hear the Chiefs complain about that, about the AFC Championship game years ago? May had a chance with 2 minutes left in overtime, but the offense forced the ball downfield on every play, eventually leading to the game-ending interception. It was the third turnover of the day for the Patriots. The coaching staff has been a wreck all season. There was a new offensive line combo this week after showing continuity the past few weeks, including a win over the Jets. Instead, they moved Michael Onwenu back to tackle, and rookie Layden Robinson struggled. Whose idea was this? The Patriots' running game, once again non-existent. Stevenson had his red zone touchdowns in back-to-back weeks and caught the final touchdown. But they had a total of 15 yards on the day. The offense featured many outside toss and run zone running schemes. Who made this decision? And on defense, it was another 400 yards and 160 on the ground. They also ran out of gas in overtime. What happened to take him to the hill? Mayo didn't have the answers in postgame. What does he actually have the ability to do? This was another winnable game for the Patriots, one they had no business winning. The Patriots have once again failed Drake May and make it wildly known that Mayo is not the one in control. Skaz, hello, sir. What are your feelings on all of this?
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Yeah, what do you do here? The Patriots the coaching staff's a big chunky.
Yeah, something that stood out to me there was you mentioned taking them to the hill and how the Patriots have looked gassed at the end of these last couple games. I seem to remember there being a lot of nepotism talk when it came to one Bill Belichick when he was the head coach.
Oh, yeah.
Are you aware of who the Patriots' strength and conditioning coach is?
Gerard Mayo's brother.
Just wanted to point that out, wondering if more of the same down in Foxborough, not as different as we thought it was going to be. More of friends and family getting involved in the football operations down there, and it doesn't seem to be working out.
Let me do a disclaimer real quick here for you guys. There's no wrong answer here. But what do you think they should have done after they scored the touchdown?
Yeah, I would say go for two. You're on the road and your team stinks. Try and win the football game.
Now, they don't have timeouts. They would have had to done this on the fly. Their defense was tired too, right? They just ran around for 12 seconds. All I'm trying to say is the play call that Coach Joe would have called, quarterback draw.
Nothing else was working.
What else was working? It's simple, right? They could come up with all the excuses. Well, it's a rookie, and we were kind of running all. Fine. QB draw. Give the ball to your best player.
Don't you think that would have been the reaction anyways? Well, at least they tried to win the game. Half the fan base wants them to lose for draft capital anyways, so I don't think they're getting crushed for it.
He even said that today. He goes, "Oh, if we didn't go for it, we missed. We would have got crushed for it too." No, dude, you would have been respected. You know why? Dude, what do the analytics say? By the way, that's what I want to know. What do the analytics say? I want an analytics man. What do analytics men people say? Even women. What do they say? Down by 1 in overtime. No time left. What do you do? This isn't about the wins and losses. It's about being prepared. It's about knowing what you do in situations. They don't have any of that. So Skaz, again, no wrong answers here, okay? Just, I ask. When you put Layden Robinson back in after Michael Jordan and whoever has been at guard for 2 weeks in a row, where it's been pretty good, who made the decision to put Layden Robinson as a starter and move Onwenu back to tackle? Is it Gerard Mayo? Who was it? Whose decisions was it to... All these things, it's not Mayo is my point. For once, Gerard Mayo, you could have made a decision. What, are you going to get in trouble? Are you going to get fired? Are you going to get fired because you want to go for it? It's just, at this point, I'm watching a team with no leader. And it makes me despise ownership in some way. Like, what are they? They have a walkie-talkie? Are they talking down there now too? Hey guys, just kick the field goal. Let's keep it interesting. Maybe there'll be a tie. They stink too. Was that what they were going? Were they going for a tie yesterday? They stink too. I get it. If you're on the side where you kick the field goal and you go into overtime, see, anything can happen. I'm not saying you're wrong, but for you to think that the Patriots are actually prepared for that, that's on you. And I keep saying this, but every play they did in overtime was downfield, downfield. They were chucking. Since when does Van Pelt do that? Since when does Van Pelt chuck up throws? It was so uncharacteristic, and it makes me feel like they had no plan at all. So again, do the Patriots suck? Yes. Who made more mistakes yesterday, the rookie with 3 turnovers or the coaching staff? Far and away, it was the coaching staff. 617-779-0985. Let's take a couple of calls here before we get to the headlines here. We do have Celtics and Hawks tonight. Right here on 98.5, the Sports Hub, so stay tuned for that. Dean is in Shrewsbury. Hey, Dean.
Hey, I got something you can blah your pregame show about. Guess who's the number 1 odds-on favorite for Sixth Man of the Year as of yesterday?
Yes, Gaz sent these over to me. I believe FanDuel had Peyton Pritchard is the favorite to win Sixth Man of the Year.
Yeah, 5-1. He went from 40-1 to 5-1 in the blink of an eye. He's scoring, he's assisting, he's playing great defense, he's offensive rebounding the ball, and one real quick thing, my girlfriend for my birthday on Wednesday is making me homemade carrot cake and homemade lasagna. What do you think about that, Joe?
Ooh, carrot cake and lasagna. That's a nice little duo right there.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm big on the lasagna, big on the carrot cake, so I'm really thankful for her for doing that.
How old are you, Dean?
I'm going to be 38 on Wednesday. I'm going to be watching election coverage and hoping my guy wins.
Okay, well, well, by the way, I would just like everyone to know that if you would like to get away from election coverage, this is your spot. We won't do any of that. Right, Skaz?
Dean should know better. No politics on the night show.
No, he just wanted to tell me about the food. That was his way to slide in, right?
Everyone's always looking for a way to sneak it in there.
Gonna butter me up with some lasagna and carrot cake, and then drop in the politics.
Big fan of the carrot cake.
Big fan of the carrot cake. Out on politics, none. So the next couple of nights, all right? Seriously, I really mean this. Just hang out with us. Just hang out with us, please, because
we need you.
Yeah, we need you. We need you. Who's this? Ernie in Dorchester. Hey, Ernie.
Hey, Joe, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, bud. How you doing?
Hey, good. You know what goes good with beer?
What's that?
Nuts.
Peanuts.
Tell Gerard to get a beer and grow some nuts, okay? Just imagine if the narrative changed, Joe. Imagine he takes the kid, he says, yeah, go for 2, let's go for the win. We're talking a whole different type of thing here. The whole narrative changes, and we probably could have won. Don't be afraid of success, Gerard. My goodness.
Imagine if they won and Drake May played well. That's the problem right now. Skaz, there's this weird, I almost wrote about it, but I'll save it. They win with Jacoby Brissett, but they lose with Drake May.
I think yesterday, a lot of Patriots fans would call that a perfect afternoon. Drake May looks pretty good, and you still lose to the Titans.
It was all I cared about was the entertainment.
But I'm just saying, like, all these Patriots fans that want their draft pick, want to have the number 1 pick or whatever it is, the Titans are one of those teams you're going to be competing with. You get to see your future quarterback, Drake May, still look like he is going to be a franchise quarterback, and you lose to the Titans. I'm not one of those people. I want to see the Patriots win football games, but I do think a lot of people walk away from that game saying, a good result.
Let me ask you this. Can you remember a player that the team was so bad, but the quarterback keeps him in the game? And like recent, like, I'm trying to think of like a bad team, but the quarterback just always keeps him in.
I mean, maybe those early Bengals teams with Burrow.
Yeah, and they ended up going to the Super Bowl, though. But, like, where would they be without him?
Like Herbert, maybe, for a little while over there.
Early on, remember they played that was it a play? Oh, go to the playoffs or whatever at the end there.
Well, they had that weird game with Jacksonville in the playoffs where they went up by 30 and then lost.
And by the way, that game, Lawrence threw 3 interceptions and then scored 3 touchdowns to win the game. And that was against, oh, no, the other game was the Titans, right? Didn't they? Josh Dobbs' game? I think he started the playoff game once, too. Getting them all confused now. But, like, where would they be without this guy? Jeez. We'll have more with you guys. Feel free to call in 617-779-0985. We'll do more Patriots. I do have some Bruins and some Celtics stuff as we're here until 7 o'clock tonight. I'm Joe Murray. Let's first get to the Sports Hub headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots lose last night. Now they're on to Chicago. The Bears have yet to win a road game, and, well, they play at home. So I guess that helps them out.
FanDuel, an official sports book partner of the NFL.
21 plus.
98.5 The Sports. Hey, Skaz, I know we can't do in or out because we have games every night, but was it true that Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg are coming out with a new album in December?
That sounds right. I think we might have discussed that over the summer, but yeah, that sounds correct.
I'm in on that.
Why not? Everybody else is getting everything else is getting rebooted.
Yeah, I know. Why
Might
not?
as well bring them back.
Bring Dre and Snoop back. I mean, well, all hell's broke loose anyways. Why not? So the lasagna, now carrot cake talk is taking over our chat. And I brought up butter cake. I don't know if anyone's ever had butter cake, but I love butter cake. And they're talking about some other cakes in there as well. So you can come over and join us on our YouTube chat, youtube.com/985 The Sports Hub. I see Jay Buck in there. See a bunch of our regulars that are always in there as well. We'll get to more of your calls. I just wanted to bring up a couple other things regarding the Patriots. I don't know who's making the decisions. I don't know who's really in charge. But yesterday, the Saints fired their head coach, and the Raiders let go of Luke Getsy, their offensive coordinator. So I ask, would the Patriots be in on Luke Getsy?
I hope not.
Knows Elliott Wolf.
He's a disaster.
Let me go, and then you can crap all over. That's kind of my things, guys. Let me go and then crap all over it. Crap. Luke Getsy, he knows Elliott Wolf. Rich Scangarello also was a mentor to T.C. McCartney, who's the Patriots quarterback coach. The other thing to throw in there is they're all free because the Raiders are paying them. So that's why I bring this up, Skaz. They're free. They're offensive minds. They're actually upgrades to the guys who are actually here, yet they all suck too. So you know what? Bring all the suck in. Why not? Here's another thing. Last week, the Patriots made Josh Uche inactive before trading him. This week, the Patriots are made Kyle Duggar, Tyquan Thornton, and KJ Osborne inactive. Is that a sign that they could be moved before Tuesday's deadline? Mayo was upset when Duggar's name was involved. He didn't like that. I think Osborne's a veteran that could play somewhere else. I don't think you're getting crap for Thornton. I think you're stuck with him. And here's the other thing. The 49ers have two holes: wide receiver, defensive tackle. Could they get creative and go after Bourne and Gotcha? It'd be a huge blow for the Patriots on their defensive line, but today they say Christian Barmore's close. Why? Just sit him out for the year. Let's hypothetically say they offered a third-round pick, and if they make it to the Super Bowl, it becomes a second. Skaz, would you do the deal?
Sure. Well, I mean, why not?
Why not?
The Patriots need assets. I mean, I don't want to. I've seen the random Twitter rumors that like Christian Gonzalez is involved in trade talks. I'm out on that.
Well, what it is people have been calling on them.
Yeah, so
they're not moving on.
No, you can't move on from a guy like that. But obviously, KJ Osborne goes without saying. You can get rid of him.
No,
I
actually think you might be. I think you might be able to get a fifth.
That would be more than I would expect. So yeah, I'd happily do that.
But Gotcha, who extended this offseason, and Bourne, who extended this offseason.
Well, what does it say about the front office if that's the second player you're trading that you re-up this offseason? I don't think that's a great look either, and they are very PR aware.
Listen, they're right now, right? They are. Gerard Mayo said it, so I'm only repeating what he said. They're failing Drake May. So why don't you just fail and trade? Next year, you just spend money, right? That's all you got to do. Look at the Bears. The Patriots take on the Bears this week, right? They take on the Bears. What did they do? They traded for Keenan Allen. They already had DJ. Like, they made all these moves. They got their offensive line. They drafted the quarterback. I know that they can't win a game on the road, but they play at home. They play 8 games at home or 9. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is. Just win your home games. That's all you got to do. Can the Patriots be the Bears? Can they turn it around in 1 year like that? I don't even want to put them in the Texans category because the Texans at least had some linemen in place. By the way, I had to do a double take today when Joey put in our Slack today that Michael Onwenu has not given up a sack this year. I cannot believe that. I don't think he's been good. Do you think he's been good? No.
By their offensive line standards, probably.
I feel like they have never seen stunts before. You know, when two defensive tackles, one's going to go in, one's going to go around, or one's going to go in and out. I feel like they've never seen it before. God. It's really bad. I mean, last year at least I think Bill was tanking. I really think Bill was driving that thing into the ground. I think Bill really wanted to. And I felt that way at the time, by the way. All right, let's go to the phones here at 617-779-0985. Who's been on the longest? Eddie in Seabrook. Eddie!
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, sir. How are you?
Yes, very good. Sorry, I'm on speakerphone here. So I think you raised some really awesome points. You're very methodical. I think our coaches need to be accountable to the fans, not just Drake May. Drake May is the future. We can't just hand him, the reins to leadership and everything today. I think he had an opportunity to pass the ball away. Yesterday he ran. My question to you is, does running too much affect your game, like in the pocket? Like, is that interception kind of a result of him, like, huffing and puffing too much? Thank you so much.
Yep. I think that Drake May's running is a part of the problem, but it's all they have. So as he starts to develop a little bit more, he'll run less. When he's protected better, he'll run less. If guys aren't covered because they can't separate, he'll run less. Like he'll do all those things. So yes, I do think him running is leading to some of the issues, but on the flip side, it's all they have. Justin and Lynn. Justin!
Hey, Joe, I think this team is a total disaster. Their offensive line, their defense, their receivers, they're all disasters.
Yeah. We're going to put you out there, tackle. What do you think?
I would do better than that. I would do better than they ever would.
Yeah, Justin, would you have gone for 2 at the end of the game there?
Yes, I would have.
And I would have run the QB draw. What about you?
I would have run the QB draw, something to win that game. They are a total disaster, and they're not going anywhere this season.
Appreciate you, Justin. Thank you, sir. That's right. Nobody knows what to do. All right, everybody line up. You, we'll go in motion. You, over there. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Do all your Peyton Manning stuff. There's the mic. Da-da-da-da. Hut. Run. QB draw. Put it in your best player's hands. That's what you do. They tried to do that with Cam Newton years ago, but they wanted to run that counter end around thing, and it was stupid. Bill's in Auburn. Hi, Bill.
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
Hey,
I'd like to say hello to my dad out in Worcester.
What's up, Worcester?
And, I think the Patriots should have gone for 2 points and, won the game instead of going to overtime. I think that was a stupid move by Jerron Mayo to go for...
Well, do you know it was his fault? Do you know he was the one who made the decision?
Yeah.
You do know it was him?
Yeah, because I think it was a stupid move by Jerron Mayo to go for 2.
Well, what makes you think? What makes you think it was him that made the decision?
Well, because I think that they should have gone for the 2 points instead of the 1. That's
because 2 points would have given them the win.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Bill. Appreciate you, buddy. I don't know who made the call, so I don't know who to blame. I don't. All right, Gabe. What do we got tonight for some prop bets? Let's stoke it up.
What's up, Joe? Hope you had a good weekend.
Thanks, man.
The under was nice. Real quick, for the Patriots, the receivers cannot catch. They need those sticky, what the receivers used to use back in the day. So I was going to give you Kate Otten anytime touchdown. It was at minus like 220 this afternoon on DraftKings. Now it's plus. I'm sorry. Now it's plus 195. So my sloppy is Samaje Perine receiving touchdown, but anytime touchdown plus 500.
Samaje Perine plus 500.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that. I mean, below that, it's just it's ugly. Basketball, Celtics, no Jaylen Brown. Pritchard over 3.5 threes is still minus 105. So, and I'm not sure how you feel about Derek White with threes, but he's still, I think it was over 4.5 minus 115.
Okay.
Between those, if you had to just pick one that you like, I know it's off the cuff, but
Pritchard.
I mean,
Pritchard minus. I mean, he's been hitting threes every game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get why. That's what I don't get why the book, like with Brown still out, how they're giving, how they're giving Pritchard over 3.5 at minus, at minus 105. Over 3.5 minus 105. White over 3.5 minus 115. Sorry. So he was over 3.5 too.
All right, Gabe. I like that Perine one. Appreciate you, bud. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe.
Bye-bye. All right, we got to take a quick break. Got to get out of here. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
All right, back here 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Celtics-Hawks tonight. Don't forget, Celtics have lost in this spot before. Last year they did in Atlanta. Hawks off a back-to-back now tonight. One of the tops in the league now in scoring, led by, of course, their best player, Trae Young. No Jaylen Brown tonight. We'll send things over to Grandy and Max. They'll have the call of tonight's game. And we'll be on post-game as well until 11 o'clock. I'm Joe Murray. Celtics basketball next here on the Sports Hub.